Today we have very interesting theme. We offer the most interesting work. We will create together with you the volume flowers in the technique Sospeso Transparente, using in our work special materials, decoupage cards, a thermofilm and a fabric. And also we will decorate the foam torso using a linen cord, and we will have the remarkable decorative dummy. We very much hope that you will like this program and you necessarily will use our advices and recommendations to create your unique handmade project. Hello, my name is Natasha Fochtina, and I'm glad as always to welcome you in our studio. Today we have the most interesting lesson. We will learn the technique which have recently appeared in a decoupage, which is called Sospeso Transparente. It's Italian. The well-known designer Monica Allegro has thought it up. Many masters like her idea to use a special material with which help it was possible to create various volume forms to decorate them our homes. Especially, this technique allows work with any surfaces. In general, the technique Sospeso Transparente is named the technique of three-dimensional modeling with use of special materials. In general, with which help this volume is created. In other words, the volume from a paper, napkins, fabric and plastic. The core of this technique is the material with rare properties, the patented transparent non-toxic thermoplastic. The image is glued on it. For example, we will have the semi-transparent and air effect at work with napkins. At work with a paper for a decoupage, it's possible to have the effect of porcelain or a product from a biscuit. The main principle of work in this technique is the heating and forming. In other words, at heating on a candle, the material becomes flexible for some seconds and it can be modeled easily given any form. After cooling, it keeps the form and all properties of plastic. Subsequently, the product is possible easily remodeled at any moment. However, after hardening, it will be durable and doesn't demand any finishing varnish covering. I allow here one note, that the product doesn't demand any additional covering in the variant when the paper decor is under a film. In this program, we will consider the return variants when the film is from below. As tools for giving the volume for the heated detail, I used special wooden devices, such sticks with balls on the ends, and as a base for modeling the latex rug. I noticed that on sale it's possible to find for this technique a lot of various materials. There are special sets, the specially developed decoupage cards, printed on a paper with the high flexibility. This is special self-adhesive film crystallic with the image put on it. There are the films with ready drawings. There are specially developed fabric, 100% cotton from which it's possible to create the magnificent brooches. In general, we need only desire for work and we always find the materials. For a start, I suggest to make here such dummy with one flower in the technique Sospeso Transparente. I didn't begin to think out advisedly any difficult projects with many flowers and leaves, as all of them as one were made under the same scheme, and the complexity of the composition which you will decide to make can be determined by the amount of spending time. So, for this work, I have prepared specially developed fabric for technique Sospeso Transparente. This is 100% cotton and it's perfect match for creation of brooches and hairpins. I have such ribbon with drawing, width of 10 cm and a rapport of 13 cm. In 1 meter there are 3 repeating fragments. It means that you entirely can make the volume motif. I've already said that I wouldn't make a flower garland today, as it's long enough, and I would make one flower. For this purpose, I should take the sharp scissors and cut out throughout the circuit 3 identical flowers from a cotton ribbon. Ideally, they should be a little different size, big, less, and small. In general, at this stage, all details of a flower are ready to give them volume. Or rather, to give them this volume, it's necessary to take the transparent thermoplastic and a decoupage glue of strong fixing. Usually, this is a glue which is produced for work with decoupage cards, and to glue this film our flowers from a fabric on it. We glue like this. We put plentifully enough glue on plastic using a brush. From above we put a flower, and from above we coat it with the same glue. After glue will dry up and becomes transparent, we take again the sharp scissors and cut out the flowers the second time throughout the circuit, only now from thermoplastic. As a result, we will have 3 enough rigid plastic flower details. There is one nuance here. You should cut the petals to the middle, that then you could model them easily. If, while you cut a flower on separate petals, you will have the sharp angles, you will need to cut them off round the flower petal. And now, there comes the time of magic. We put the latex rag and sticks with balls on the table and light a candle. I notice that matches can be the most usual. We begin to model the volume. Take the flower and put it over the candle. You should heat it up from a film, in other words, from the flower on side. And it's not necessary to heat up all detail. We should keep one of petals above the candle flame, like this, some time, let it heat up, and then to put it on the rag a film upwards, and to give it the volume using stick with balls. To tell the truth, in this work, the experience and skill are very important. It's difficult enough not to burn from the first the fingers, not to burn through a film that it doesn't go bubbles and doesn't become charred, and the flower doesn't stick to the rag. For this reason, I advise to you at first to work on unnecessary pieces of the film, to understand on what distance from a flame you can, without harm for a detail, heat it up for the following adding volume. By the way, I notice that you should add the volume at first to each petal of the flower, and then to the all inflorescence. In the other words, in the end of the work on one details, you should heat up its center from the wrong side. Put on the rag and to press on the center using the stick with balls that the petals is gathered in a cup. We should make 3 details over a candle. In other words, make them live and volume together in one flower. You can have at this stage a question: when it's necessary to stop and cease to form the petals over a candle? Here everything is very simple. You need to combine all details in one flower, and then you will see at once whether it's necessary to correct something or not. Though, before the gathering a flower, I would recommend it to you to select an object on which you would like to place it. If it's a brooch, you simply gather a flower on a fastener, but if you want to decorate with a flower a dummy, at first you make a dummy. Everything, as always, is simple. To make a decorative dummy, I have bought here such foam blank. Generally, there are a lot of variants how to decorate it, but I have found the bobbin with a linen cord and have decided to work with it. In other words, to wind with it the detail, to give it an aesthetic look and necessary durability. I notice at once that here you can't so simple wound round the foam plastic by cord as a bottle or a vase. especially such relief thing as a dummy. Therefore, I advise to you at once to take a glue of strong fixing, to put it on a surface and to begin a winding. I will pay your attention that not each glue is well combined with foam plastic. Therefore, at first, check it up on compatibility, and if it doesn't damage the surface, safely begin the work. And we begin our work that at first we form in hands a round tablet of a cord, and we put it from above a dummy on a neck, and further, gluing the pieces, we put the cord around the torso. In general, to tell the truth, winding process is not so fascinating and takes a lot of time, but the product with this decor looks rather effectively. I notice that the base of such a remarkable dummy never should be plywood. Therefore, I suggest to take the acrylic paint of an ivory color and to paint it using a brush. Well, and in general, in my opinion, the paint won't damage the dummy, therefore I also paint it. And now we need to gather the details in one flower to which we have added the volume. We make it very simple. We need to take a glue gun, to heat it up and to dip hot glue in the base of the flower, and at once to put to this place the second flower detail. That it will be easier to make one flower, we take the stick with balls, put it in the middle, press and adjust the petals how we want. Don't forget, in the course of flowering gluing about the leaves, they can be attached not only from below, but also between flower layers. I notice that the third, the top detail of the flower, we glue the same as the second, with glue and press in the middle using the stick with balls, and at the end we need to make the center. Drip the hot glue and strew by the microbeads. You can use one color, but it's possible to use two, violet and green. When the glue will cool down in the center, drip it from the wrong side of the flower and fix it to our dummy. And here we have such beautiful thing. And now we pass to making of the second flower. I have prepared for work specially developed for the technique Sospeso Transparente decoupage card printed on the paper with high flexibility. As well as in the variant with the previous flower, I should cut out 3 details: a big flower, medium, and just little less, strictly on a contour. And the further destiny of these paper details can be various. For example, if you want to make so that your flower looked porcelain, that you should glue it on the thermoplastic that drawing away from you and cover with white paint from the wrong side, just as we did in a reverse decoupage. In other words, the flower will be under plastic. If you don't like the shine of plastic, you can cover with white acrylic paint the cut-out flowers from the decoupage card from the wrong side, and then simply to glue on thermoplastic, drawing towards yourself. But you can, and it's my variant, to paint the card not from the wrong side, but at first to take plastic and to glue on it all 3 details of the flower. As soon as the glue on the flowers from decoupage card will dry up, we take the brush number 2 or 1 and color with white acrylic paint the petals to give them picturesque, dry them and take the sharp scissors to cut out the details together with the film to which they glued firmly. As soon as we have made 3 details over the candle and have made them live and volume, we should gather them in one flower. We make it very simple. We need to take a glue gun, to heat it up and to dip hot glue in the base of the flower, and at once to put to this place the second flower detail. That it will be easier to make one flower, we take the stick with balls, put it in the middle, press and adjust the petals how we want. Don't forget, in the course of flower gluing about the leaves, they can be attached not only from below, but also between flower layers. I noticed that the top detail of the flower we glue the same as the second, with glue, and press in the middle using the stick with balls, and at the end we need to make the center. Drip the hot glue and strew by the microbeads. You can use one color, but it's possible to use 2, violet and green. Wait when the glue will cool down in the center, drip it from the wrong side of the flower and fix it to our dummy or to this water bottle. And here we have such beautiful thing. Well, and it seems to me that I have told you everything that I wanted about what was this new technique which was called so beautifully Sospeso Transparente. We have made today 2 flowers in this technique, having used 2 various materials, the decoupage paper and the special cotton fabric. And I hope that you like them, and in the near future you will create necessarily something similar for your home or as a gift for your friends. And if you, having looked at these thermofilm heatings and formation, have decided that this kind of creativity wasn't so interesting to you, consider that you have funds saved on purchase of materials and have acquired new knowledge of the new kind of creativity popular all over the world. And one more, we had time to make today the decorative dummy. Therefore, we have spent time explicitly, not for nothing. By the way, I, for myself, for the time being leave this theme open, I have one idea, which for certain you will like, about using of this technology. Necessarily in the near future I will tell you everything. Well, and on it, I say goodbye to you to new ideas. Good luck. With you, there was Natasha Fochtina. Good luck and goodbye.